is as good as any. Undertaker, Haunted Creeper. Hey, why not?
Yeah. It's as good as any. You've got your Undertaker and your Pilot Shredder. Now, a Lifecoach is going to want to mulligan, possibly, probably for shielded mini-bots at least.
Shielded mini-bots. He doesn't run Zombie Chow, which is a huge concern. So Shielded mini-bots probably the best card you could hope for. Muster for Battle, another good one. Muster for Battle, of course, is very good, but it probably won't be that great against the Undertaker and Haunted Creeper that Hosty will start off with.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow!
This
is looking a bit better though for Lifecoach than it was for Savage with a similar circumstance.
Yeah, Lifecoach couldn't believe that hand that he got if he just left.
He's like, "There's no way. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm gonna let this play itself."
Oh, all right, he's back, everyone. But his other thought was like, "Oh, I don't have a shielded mini bot, so I don't have a turn 2 play, so I can just leave, come back in like 4 minutes, and
it'll look normal."
Yeah.
It's just standard play.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
He ropes all the time. Nobody's gonna question it. It's gonna be, oh, he's just thinking.
Unleash the Hounds.
Maybe that's what he does all the time when there's no face cam. Maybe he just leaves.
Well, Unleash the Hounds, very important. Good counter to the Muster for Battle.
Yeah. So here the question I have for you is: Do you feel like coining out True Silver Champion is gonna be better than playing Muster for Battle immediately? Because Muster for Battle is somewhat interesting here, but
I think it's definitely a viable option just because you have the Consecrate to follow up on turn 4 if you coin out the True Silver.
Yeah, which is usually the big weakness is you have either or, but not both. When you have both, I think that's when you start capitalizing on the strength of True Silver Champion.
Yeah, and just Muster for Battle on turn 3. With this current board, it doesn't really do anything. I mean, Lifecoach, or Hosty rather, will probably play Web Spinner, but just killing off a Web Spinner and summoning 3 1/1s that the Haunted Creeper can just clear up, not that great.
Yeah, and also there's a big, like, the play that we mentioned with True Silver Champion is going to be very good if no other Death Trials are top decked by the Hunter. Because if he gets another Death Trial minion, the Undertaker will get way out of range. And there you go. Wow, a 4-5 here. 4-5 Undertaker.
Yeah, True Silver Champion, maybe not the play.
Yeah, maybe not the play after all. It would have been, but in this specific circumstance, it's not appealing at all.
I mean, this is just what Undertaker does. Grows to like us. Well, Lifecoach can at least take solace in the fact that if this Undertaker grows too much, it'll be in range of BGH.
Does he? Does he even? I don't. Did he play BGH? I don't remember seeing it.
Oh wow!
Goodness.
Equality.
So do you play? You know what? There seems to be a semi-viable play with the Muster to ping off the Spider. Because you can set up nice consecrations as a follow-up. I mean, you're going to be taking at least about 12 damage by the time you can stabilize, but as a consequence, if this doesn't get cleared by Unleash the Hounds, you can then Quartermaster. I mean, this is so devastating. Do you just consecrate? Do you...
I don't think you can consecrate this particular board because it only removes 2 power, and with consecrate, you probably want to get more value than that.
Aldo Peacekeeper for tempo?
Maybe like you have to maybe even consider just equalitying this turn, set it up for the consecrate next turn.
Yeah, you're telegraphing it, but I guess you might just
what other choice do you have?
Yeah, Muster to ping and then consecrate, but you're gonna take another 8 damage minimum on the following turn, and then Aldor Peacekeeper comes up. Aldor Peacekeeper is not too bad, but if there's no high main. If a high main comes out, sorry, then you're in a bit of a bad spot.
We're going to see the Muster for Battle.
The Unleash the Hounds, though, going to be a really big deal.
I think with this play, you're just forcing your opponent to trade. And unfortunately, he doesn't have to do it with his minions this turn. He can just do it with the Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah, but the Aldo Peacekeeper can stall a bit of the damage output. Even if the minions get removed, for a little while it can be done. Worst case scenario, you then ping the Spider with Life's Justice and consecrate Mad Scientist and the 2 Spider leftovers.
Yep. Interesting that there's a Tundra Rhino. That's like not a bad card.
Yeah, from Web Spinner, I think it's one of the better ones, because if it doesn't get removed, then you curve into high main.
I mean, it can come down on the field, and then Hosty can draw a turn 6 high main. Charging high main is always a pretty big threat.
Yeah. The biggest threat, actually. I remember when it was used in some Hunter mid-range decks, standalone, they would just play one Tundra Rhino.
Okay, Unleash the Hounds will come off. Pretty good play.
Yeah.
If he didn't use that, he would either be forced to use all his minions to trade into the Hounds, or he'd have to face a potential Quartermaster.
Yeah, and that means he surrenders a lot of the damage output that he could have just had this turn straight up, and opens himself up for even more consecration value. So I don't think it's worth... I think the play they made here with Unleash was definitely the right one. And unfortunately for Lifecoach, I mean, is your only play something along the lines of Ping Spider Consecration?
Again, no good plays. It
But
didn't
if you
work
do,
out.
you then have the Equality Consecration on the following turn.
That's a good point.
Yeah, with the coin being kept allows him to get, you know, back-to-back hard removal. And then Aldo Peacekeeper for any high mains, and...
I mean, that's probably a very good play, but at the same time, if you do that play, you're going to get hit by Undertaker at least one more time. Yeah, and then the Tundra Rhino might come down, or more likely the Pilot Shredder will come down, buff the Undertaker to a 5/6.
But then your Equality Consec. That's when you start. That's where your turn 6 wipe comes into play.
And then
you have Aldor.
Well, and then what happens is Millhouse Mana Storm comes out of the Piloted Shredder.
Yeah, and then you die.
It seems to me that like Piloted Shredder defies the laws of physics sometimes. Like, how could a 4/4 fit inside a 4/3?
Maybe the Pilot Shredder is just a lousy, you know, piece of engineering. So it's just got very little health. Oh, goodness. Oh, goody.
Good.
All right, so a lot of damage mitigation here. I think Aldo Peacekeeper for tempo was a play that makes a lot of sense, because it still forces Hosty to deal with it in a way. Unless he drops Freezing Trap, but if he does that, then he can't play anything else.
I like that Eldor Peacekeeper play a lot, actually. Next turn, he can clear the spiders and just Equality Consecrate in order to basically clear the board.
And then even trigger the trap with the Aldor, assuming that guy stays alive, so yes.
All right.
So turn 5, Tundra Rhino, turn 6, Shredder, Freezing Trap, turn 7, Dr. Boom, or do you just play Paladin now?
I like the
Protect
Paladin.
against board wipes. Okay.
Yeah, I like this a bit better. More death rattles on the board. That's always good. Okay, he's going to play even more around Equality Consecrate. Nope.
I don't know that it does, though. Yeah, I think it plays less around it, because you're getting less damage in. So your play to win is a little weaker.
Yeah, I mean, you're Hunter. Why not go to face, right?
Rule number 1. So right now, there's a really good, you know, ping the spider, trade with the shredder with your 3/3, then Equality Consec, and now you've got a completely clear board from which to operate.
Yeah, definitely.
But then you don't have any more. You don't have any more Aldors to deal with high mains if they do come out.
You can kind of stabilize, but at the same time, you don't have any heals, at least for the moment, and you don't have very much to deal with future threats.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm afraid of as follow-ups. Okay, so if a Doomsayer comes out, though, that's going to allow him to keep his equality.
Yeah.
Do you actually do you even... Yeah, you still have to. Never mind.
Yeah. Doomsayer is something that I'm sure Lifecoach will be considering. Hosty made the mistake of not considering that. He probably had like a 1 in 52 chance of winning that game. I mean, if a Doomsayer came out in that game, that probably is a win for Hosty, right?
It might have been, yes. Yeah, definitely. So do you even bother with Equality Consec when you could just Consec and wipe most of those guys out?
I think right
you
now
could keep Equality Consecration from the turn 6 and then wipe high mains off the board. Where in this turn, you can just bother with Shielded.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky that a 2 health minion came out of there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately now, the Undertaker is going to be putting in 2 more damage, but I think Lifecoach is thinking that the 2 damage probably won't matter.
Yeah, and in this case, I mean, the Freezing Trap is going to deny the Shielded mini-bot value. Oh, the Snake Trap. So he has to at least try to trigger both traps at once. The first trap that was played was Snake Trap from Mad Scientist, if I recall. So the Snake Trap will trigger first, and then Equality Consecration will come in. But still, this is not... I mean, what about the follow-ups? Like, how do you deal with Dr. Boom? We know he's got Boom. So you need to top deck Wild Pyromancer or another Aldor Peacekeeper.
Yeah, and even if you deal with, quote-unquote, deal with Dr. Boom, you still have...
Yeah, you might still die, yeah.
You still have the left Boom bot and the right Boom bot to consider.
Yeah, and they might just kill him outright.
Yeah, you might as well get, like, double roll 4 to face. That's just game over.
Alright, here comes the Quality Consecration play. And now we're going to have, well, I mean, Lifecoach is going to be very disappointed to see that Dr. Boom is in Hosty's hand right now, because this is one of the best cards that Hosty could ever hope for in this case.
I mean, instant call with that Dr. Boom.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer in this case. Which just goes to show how strong the card is. So is there any way here for Lifecoach to come back? I think he's dead no matter what he does. There is absolutely no way.
I mean, I was thinking of some way to activate your piloted Shredder.
Yeah, a taunt. And... So you play Shredder, you attack a Boombot, Boombot hits it for 3, it spawns a Frostwolf Grunt.
Yeah, that's...